Beyonce's pregnancy is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyonce is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, like they gave birth. Remember, I was the first one to say this.
Nobody wanted to believe her. They laughed. They called her crazy. They tried to destroy everything she built. But what if Wendy Williams was right all along? And what she actually uncovered was something far darker than a fake pregnancy.
It's going to be an at-home water birth in the master bathroom. There are going to be 3 people there. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and her mother, Miss Tina. Watch.
Except it wasn't a home water birth. And the person who actually gave birth to Blue Ivy, she's dead, gone, silenced. And the location where this allegedly happened?
Out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night?
Because here's what nobody is connecting. The fake pregnancy, the mistress, the island, the files, they all lead back to one woman, one birth, one cover-up hiding in plain sight for over a decade. And Jason Lee just blew the entire thing wide open. Let's talk about the story the entire entertainment industry has been desperately trying to bury since 2012. Because right now, in the wake of the Epstein file dumps, with Jay-Z's name appearing in federal documents, a rumor that has been quietly circulating in industry circles for years has exploded back into public conversation. The receipts are different, the connections are different, and the people willing to talk, they are finally talking. The rumor is this: Blue Ivy Carter is not Beyonce's biological daughter. Her real mother is Cathy White, Jay-Z's alleged mistress. And according to sources speaking to Jason Lee, Blue Ivy was not born in a hospital in New York. She was born on Epstein's island, and Beyonce didn't just fake a pregnancy to cover it up. She allegedly orchestrated one of the most elaborate deceptions in celebrity history to steal another woman's child and erase her from existence entirely. Now, before you click off, sit with the timeline, because once you lay it out piece by piece, nothing about this story is a coincidence. Not the collapsed baby bump, not Cathy White's sudden mysterious death, not Blue's uncanny resemblance to a woman Beyonce has never once publicly acknowledged, and definitely not Jay-Z's name appearing in Epstein's files. It was 2011. Beyonce walked onto the stage of an Australian talk show, visibly pregnant, doing what she always does, performing perfection. And then it happened. On live television, her baby bump folded. It collapsed inward like a deflated balloon, like a prosthetic that shifted out of place. The Bayhive went into immediate damage control. They said it was the fabric, the angle, the lighting, optical illusion. Mainstream media refused to touch it. Nobody wanted to be the outlet that went after Beyonce, but one person did not stay quiet.
His pregnancy is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyonce is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body.
Wendy Williams went on air the very next day and said what millions were whispering. And critically, she did not just say surrogate, she named Cathy White. In 2011, Cathy White was essentially a ghost. No major outlet was running her name. But Wendy, with insiders in every corner of this industry, she knew. She said the name out loud on television. And within months of her saying it, Cathy White was dead. Let that sit with you. Cathy White allegedly passed in June 2011 from a brain aneurysm. Young, healthy by all accounts, dead right in the middle of Beyonce's pregnancy press tour. The timing is so precise, it almost doesn't feel real. The mainstream narrative has always been that Cathy White was simply Jay-Z's alleged mistress, a woman who existed in the background and then conveniently disappeared. But Jason Lee's sources are telling a very different story. According to new revelations, Cathy did not just have an affair with Jay-Z, she became pregnant by him. That pregnancy did not end quietly. That baby was carried to term. And when you look at Blue Ivy today, her features, her bone structure, her eyes, then pull up any photograph of Cathy White, the resemblance is not subtle. People who have studied both faces side by side have consistently noted similarities that cannot be explained by coincidence. Now here is where the Epstein connection changes everything. Jay-Z's name is in the Epstein files. An anonymous victim's account placed him at one of Epstein's gatherings in 1996. Federal documents reference him by name, and while his legal team has framed this as unsubstantiated tips, his documented friendship with Harvey Weinstein and his presence in that orbit is not in dispute.
So the allegations are unsubstantiated because these are just, tips coming through a hotline. Fortunately for Jay, the world already wants to believe these allegations.
If Jay-Z had access to Epstein's island, and the documents suggest he did, and Cathy White was pregnant with his child during that same window, then the question Jason Lee's sources are asking is this: was Cathy brought to that island? Was Blue Ivy actually born there? Was the fake pregnancy constructed not just to hide an affair, but to hide the location and circumstances of that birth entirely? Epstein's Island was not just a place of abuse. It was a machine for making things disappear. According to what is now circulating, the plan worked like this. Cathy White carries Jay-Z's baby. Beyonce, who sources say had been struggling with fertility issues, agrees to present the child as her own. A fake pregnancy is staged, a prosthetic bump used for public appearances. And then Blue Ivy is handed to Beyonce. Think about the birth story. Beyonce and Jay-Z took over an entire wing of Lenox Hill Hospital. Families with babies in the NICU had their access restricted. Enormous sums paid for privacy. Why would anyone need that level of control over a straightforward celebrity birth? That is not managing a delivery. That is managing a narrative.
It's going to be an at-home water birth in the master bathroom. There are going to be 3 people there. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and her mother, Miss Tina. Watch.
Wendy said home water birth. That didn't happen publicly. But what if the birth happened outside a conventional hospital setting entirely, and the Lenox Hill story was the cover story layered on top? What if Blue was simply registered and presented there after the fact? What if the real birth had already happened somewhere else, somewhere private, somewhere remote, somewhere controlled? This is exactly what Jason Lee's sources are now pushing. And the more you examine it, the harder it becomes to dismiss. Now let's talk about what is allegedly happening inside the Carter household right now, because this is where the story takes a genuinely heartbreaking turn. Blue Ivy has been deeply affected by the Epstein file releases, not simply because her father's name appeared in documents, but because Blue has allegedly become aware of the broader circumstances surrounding her birth and her biological origins. Imagine being a teenager and discovering not just that your father's name is in federal sex trafficking documents, but that the woman who actually gave birth to you died under suspicious circumstances when you were months old. That your entire birth story has been a constructed performance. That is not just trauma. That is an identity crisis of the most profound kind. Beyonce allegedly found a note in Blue's room. Sources describe it as deeply distressing. A young girl in crisis, unable to process what the world is now saying about her family. And here is the cruelest irony. While Blue is allegedly falling apart behind closed doors, Jay-Z showed up to the Super Bowl with her, smiling. Cameras everywhere, standing next to Jack Dorsey, who showed up in a shirt referencing Epstein. Jay, unbothered, using his daughter as a PR prop, even as she was allegedly deteriorating privately. This is not new behavior. From the time she was a toddler, Blue has been presented as a product, a brand extension. Critics have pointed out for years that she's been dressed far too mature for her age, placed in environments no child should be in, used as a symbol of power and dynasty. And if Jason Lee's sources are correct, if Blue Ivy is Cathy White's biological daughter, born under circumstances tied to Epstein's world, then every single public appearance Jay-Z has dragged her into takes on a deeply sinister new meaning. In 2024, Beyonce released a song called Daughter on the Cowboy Carter album, and from the moment it dropped, people who had been following the Cathy White story for years stopped cold. The themes, about a child, about loss, about something taken, hit differently when you know who Cathy White was. The theory gaining traction in the wake of Jason Lee's new revelations is that Daughter is not a sweet maternal ballad. It is allegedly a veiled confession. A woman singing about a child she raised that was not biologically hers, acknowledging, the only way she can, the existence of the woman whose place she took. Think about the psychological weight of building your entire public identity as a mother around a child you did not biologically carry. Watching that child grow up looking like another woman every single day. Knowing Wendy Williams named her in 2011 on live television. Knowing the internet periodically resurfaces the physical comparisons. Knowing that somewhere out there people have the receipts. Is it really far-fetched that Beyonce processes that guilt through music? Because that is literally what she does with every painful truth in her life. She writes it into a song, she wraps it in production, she packages it as art. Except this time, the truth belongs to someone else. To Cathy White, to a woman who allegedly gave birth, handed over her child, and then died before she could ever tell her story. Wendy Williams is the thread that connects every part of this story. First to say Cathy White's name. Among the first to suggest Kim Porter's death was suspicious. Years spent exposing Diddy's alleged activities and Jay-Z's affair. And throughout all of it, people tried to destroy her. Diddy got her banned from every radio station in New York. Industry pressure suppressed her platform repeatedly.
That I can't. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators of the media.
Now, Cathy White had knowledge of Blue Ivy's true origins that would have destroyed destroyed the Carters. She died of a brain aneurysm in 2011, months after Wendy said her name on television. The coroner on Kim Porter's case found toxins indicating she was poisoned. Diddy allegedly had him removed and replaced. That coroner then died mysteriously while people were still asking questions. Al Shore questioned Kim's death publicly. Death threats, then a mysterious multi-organ failure. Wendy Williams knew about all of it. Now she is in a conservatorship. The pattern is undeniable. Anyone who gets close to the truth gets silenced. They die. They get institutionalized. They get threatened until they stop. And at the center of it all, the most powerful couple in entertainment history, with the resources and connections to make problems disappear. Blue Ivy Carter is a teenager allegedly in crisis. Her father's name is in Epstein's files. Her alleged biological mother died under suspicious circumstances when she was months old. The woman who raised her allegedly faked an entire pregnancy to claim her. And the architect of all of this, Jeffrey Epstein, is dead, but his files are open. And the wall of silence is cracking. Jay-Z has changed his name on every platform, now stylized with an umlaut, conveniently creating algorithmic and legal distance from the search results tying him to these allegations. And Beyonce, she released an album. She went on tour. She smiled, presenting the polished, perfect surface of a woman with nothing to hide. But the cracks are showing. In Blue Ivy's face, features that look nothing like Beyonce, and everything like a woman who has been erased from the official story. In the federal documents with Jay-Z's name embedded, in the desperation of people who change their usernames, scrub clips from the internet, and put women who know too much into conservatorships. And in a song called Daughter, released in 2024, by a woman who allegedly knows exactly whose daughter Blue Ivy really is. Jason Lee said the bombshells are coming. The sources are talking. And if this story breaks the way people close to it are suggesting, nothing about how we understand the Carter family will ever be the same. Stay locked in, because this is only the beginning.